I talked not too long ago in my video, How Can You Have an Intelligent Forrest Gump, about how there are certain fictional characters I strongly relate to. I gave two examples in that video. In this video, I'd like to talk about another fictional character I feel an affinity for. His name is Saitama, aka the Caped Baldy, aka One Punch Man. Saitama is a cartoon character who becomes a superhero for fun, but quickly becomes frustrated because no matter how big and scary and impressive his opponents are, he consistently defeats them with a single punch. I relate strongly to Saitama. I, like Saitama, am bald. I, like Saitama, am very down-to-earth and generally unassuming. Saitama can be a bit of a dick sometimes, in an understated kind of way. I can be a bit of a dick sometimes too. Not quite as much as him, but we all have our off days. Saitama achieved his tremendous superhero power by sticking unbendingly to an exercise routine that is, frankly, underwhelming. It's an exercise routine that shouldn't at all result in superhuman powers. But he never misses a day. My own superpower has also been achieved in a rather underwhelming way. I try to be honest with myself. And while I do miss the occasional moment, I do try to be honest with myself every single day. It has just become a way of life for me. The monsters that Saitama faces in his hero work, well, they are literal monsters. The opponents I face up against are self-deception and the lies of human culture. And goodness, there are a lot of them. Where Saitama defeats his opponents consistently with a single punch, I overcome my own self-deception and the lies of human culture by consistently telling the truth. I guess the way in which I diverge from Saitama is in the way that all of the opponents who face him end up either unconscious or, perhaps more frequently, just plain old dead. While in my own superhero story, nobody faces up against me telling the truth. They just kind of go silent and disappear. The monsters that battle Saitama do so recklessly because he really doesn't look like all that much. And by the time they have tasted his punch, it's all over for them. In my case, it is different. While I also am bald and don't look like all that much, I don't actually appear in my videos very much at all. What people encounter in my work is my voice and the truths I tell. And this is generally enough for most people to work out that they would just rather be somewhere else. And they back away without me even knowing they were there in the first place. What people seem to fear and hate about me is that the truths I tell are just so easy to see and understand. And this means, naturally, that I make people's lies easy to see and understand also. And none of you want that, do you? Seeing and understanding the truths of reality is what would be most useful, most helpful to the entire world and to each and every individual in it, including you. So one might expect that the entire world and all of the people in it would be queuing up to listen to me, because I bring that which would be most useful and helpful to all of you. But for all of your life, you had no choice. You literally had no choice but to take your pick from the best lies you could find to choose from, and then run with them, because truth was literally not even on the menu. It wasn't anywhere in sight. And whichever other lies you decided to pick up and run with, they became dear to you, to the point where you no longer know what you'd do without them, don't know who you would even be without them. It's all quite heartbreaking, because the person you would become, after however long of an adjustment period you needed, is you at last. It's quite heartbreaking that human culture, our all-pervasive lie culture, has made that idea so terrifying to you, to everybody. I speak truths about religion, and religion does not want that. I speak truths about mathematics and science, and mathematicians and scientists do not want that. I speak truths about human culture, and anybody who is a part of human culture, which is everybody, does not want that. And the only solution anybody who encounters my voice and the things it says can come up with is to be silent, back away, and disappear from the scene, so that I may be somebody else's problem. Each time I drag a new video into the YouTube interface to be uploaded, it feels like I'm dropping it into the void. I wish you all weren't so afraid of me. I'm not here to harm you. I'm here for the very opposite of that. I'm not here to harm this platform. I'm not here to conduct a witch hunt. I'm not here to topple governments. I'm not here to shame anybody. It's you guys shaming yourselves that is the problem. I'm the one here who knows none of you needs to feel ashamed. But that somehow makes you feel ashamed. I guess these kinds of things just take time. It's okay. You don't have to talk to me. But the truth is coming out. There's no stopping it now. I encourage you, as an act of preparation for yourselves, to go digging at my website. That way, you can be ahead of the curve when the time comes.